Hello explorers and welcome to Alabama. At the southern end of our state is a fantastic place that Harvard naturalist and Alabama native E.O. Wilson called one of the most biodiverse in the country, the Mobile-Tensaw Delta. It's the second largest river delta in the United States, and you can paddle it virtually alone in midsummer. That is if you don't mind extreme heat, humidity, bugs, and the occasional lightning storm. Before heading out in the morning, I'm exploring historic Blakely State Park, which is only about 20 minutes from the put-in and situated on the shores of the delta itself. Blakely is the site of the last major battle of the Civil War, happening just hours after Lee's surrender at Appomattox. It was a final humiliating defeat for the South that put an exclamation point to the end of the War of Northern Aggression. The route that I'm taking is one of several on the William Bartram Canoe Trail. It's a 14-mile loop that leads through creeks, open river, bayous, lakes, and I'll take a side trip to the Bottle Creek Indian Mounds in the heart of the Delta. The total trip will take 2 days, one of about 8 miles and the next of about 6 miles, and I'll spend the night at Two Rivers campsite. Okay, here's a little bit about the trip so far. The plan was to come down to the Delta and do the loop that I've done before on Two Rivers Trail, which is about 14-mile loop. So anyway, I stayed last night at Blakely State Park, which was pretty, the weather yesterday was great, but the prediction for today is like 90% severe thunderstorms on into the evening. So I'm wasting a lot of time taking pictures and fishing. You hear the kingfisher? I see him right there. Anyway, I'm wasting a lot of time when I really should be paddling because it's about 8.5 miles to the campsite. So here's the entrance to the Tallapoosa Bayou. You can see it's very difficult to pick out in all the surrounding shorelines. Just a little cut. So much for the smooth exit into the river.
So I just exited out of the Tallapoosa Bayou, and this is the Tensaw River. As far north as I'll go on this loop. That's as far north. Water will be flowing. I'll be flowing with the current. So coming up, I had the wind behind my back, which was nice, and now going down, I have the current with me. Well, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cozy under there, and it is just a steady downpour too. Of course, no problem there. No problem.
Well, it's been non-stop rain, and let's see, it's about 10 till 7, and I'm thinking about going to bed, because I'm pretty much just sitting here under the tarp. I do have a little fire going, but I've pretty much exhausted all my dry wood. And I've got a little bit of charcoal for in the morning for breakfast, so I'm going to hold on to that. Oh, a little frosty. Foggy, I mean. Not frosty, it's warm. It rained for 14 hours straight. I was literally in my hammock from 7 o'clock last night till 6 this morning. Well, about 5. The tide has actually gone down about the water's gone down about 1.5 feet because the tide's out this morning. Supposedly there was a blood moon last night, but in the midst of a 14-hour rainstorm, I didn't see it. And I've already started taking down the camp. I got my hammock down. The tarp's still up because there is a 100% chance of rain. Straight up ahead on the right, about a half mile, is Bottle Creek, and that's where I'm headed now. Just a little ways up Bottle Creek, there's an Indian mound that you can hike to. It's not very far off the water, and it's one of the reasons I like this trail. There's evidence of Indians, and I forget the name of the time period, but it was about 1,000 to 1,200 years ago. After that, I'll head to the Bayou Jessamine, take a little detour into Jug Lake, and then head back out to Rice Creek, which is where I started. And that'll be the end of this trip. It's really hard to get a sense of scale, but as you can see, stuff's still falling. As you can see, you know, basically everything is flat, and then you get up to the Indian mound, and it's actually pretty high, maybe 40 feet
right out here in the middle of the
I'm
delta.
on the top of the Indian Mound right now. Again, maybe 40, 50 feet high. It's pretty high, but there's no, I mean, once you hike up here, there's no 360 degree view of the jungle. The trees are so big and growing right on top of the mound that you can't really make out a view. This is Jug Lake. It's a little oxbow lake, about 2 miles long, and there's a camping platform at the end of it. I'm not staying there. This is my last day on the water, but I've never seen it, and I was going to go up there and see what it looked like. It's kind of hard to overstate how nice it is to be able to get out of the boat and not into the mud, and having these platforms that you see behind me. This is part of the William Bartram canoe trail system, and you have to reserve them online. They're hardly ever reserved, so they're easy to get. You know, maybe people don't like the swamp, I don't know, but this is nice. It's got a, you know, a little private area for a restroom break, and it's got a little table over there to make stuff out of. But you can see Jug Lake is pretty cool. There's the end of it right up in there, and I've seen several gators